أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبه نستعين ثم الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين الرسول المصدد المصطفى الأمجد أبي القاسم محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين أرواحنا له فداء. أما بعد فقد قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه الكريم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا نودي للصلاة من يوم الجمعة فاسعوا إلى ذكر الله وذروا البيع ذلكم خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh and Jummah Mubarak. I give my congratulations to all of you on the occasion which is upon us. And the occasion is the Eid of Ghadir al-Khum, the celebration of when the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he took the hand of Amir al-Mu'mineen and he raised the hand of Amir al-Mu'mineen saying, Man kuntu mawlahu fahada aliyun mawlah. That whoever I am his master, then Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam is his master. This is a great moment, and also in the words of Imam al-Hadi alayhi salatu wasalam, that the followers of Ahlul Bayt, the Shia of Ali, they have three Eids. One Eid is the Eid al-Fitr, and then the Eid al-Adha, which we have recently had, and then the Eid al-Ghadir. And then also the Jum'ah as well is considered a Eid. So 4 Eids the Shias they have. And tomorrow is the Eid of Ghadir, and inshallah we will celebrate that in a more extensive program. But nonetheless, I want to point out one of the qualities of Amir al-Mu'mineen and ourselves, that when we go into this Eid of Ghadir, what our focus should be on. On one hand, as the Prophet of Allah, and as it has been recommended in the traditions of the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam, the Eid of Ghadir is a moment in order to renew or even to find a brother and to make that pact of brotherhood, to make an oath of brotherhood. Again, whereby two of the believers, mu'mineen, that they are looking out for one another. They are helping one another. They're helping one another to be the best person they can be mentally, spiritually, and physically. So this is one of the things that's recommended on the Eid of Ghadir. One of the things, as we recognize Amir al-Mu'mineen, Ali ibn Abi Talib, on this auspicious occasion of Eid al-Ghadir, we recognize him as the leaders of the believers, Amir al-Mu'mineen, and that he is the master of the believers, Mawla al-Mu'mineen. As the Prophet said, Man kuntu mawlahu fahada aliyun mawla. Whoever I am his master, then Ali is his master. Not simply whoever Ali is the friend of, or whoever that I'm the friend of, whoever is the friend of Ali. Man kuntu mawlahu, that whoever I am his friend, then Ali is also his friend. This is not the case of what the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam he was stating, but it's more than just a friend. It is the master. But nonetheless, Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam, though he is our Mawla, he is our master, just as the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he is our master. But it is possible also to have that relationship of friendship or rafaqa with Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam. How so? In one of the beautiful traditions by Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam, when he explains the benefits of reciting Surah Al-Adiyat, that is the chapter 100 of the Quran, wherein Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala he states, he begins, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, وَالْعَادِيَاتِ ضَبْحًا فَالْمُرِيَاتِ قَدْحًا فَالْمُغِيرَاتِ صُبْحًا فَأَثَرْنَ بِهِ نَقْعًا فَوَسَطْنَ بِهِ جَمْعًا إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لِرَبِّهِ لَكَنُودٌ وإنه على ذلك لشهيد وإنه لحب الخير لشديد أفلا يعلم إذا بعثر ما في القبور وحصل ما في الصدور إن ربهم بهم يومئذ لخبير. This surah, which has 11 verses, a surah that unfortunately many of us may not know, many of us may not recite, but if we understood the value of this chapter of Quran, Surah Al-Adiyat, which was revealed to Rasulullah, and we'll speak about the occasion which was revealed to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Al-Adiyat, which is the plural of adu, and adu, of course, it means enemy. This is the surah was revealed about when Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi wasalam, that he had victory over the enemies of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the enemy of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And the enemy, or adu, the word itself, denotes speed. Why? Because the enemy often is someone who is hasty in their animosity and in their going against someone. They're hasty in that aspect. This is why they're called la'adu. And in any case, this surah was revealed, and before we get to the statement of Imam Sadiq alayhi wasallam, it was revealed when Imam Ali, he protected and he defended the Prophet of Allah. There was a group of individuals who were in what is called Wadi Yabis, a dry valley, the dry valley, that they had made a pact and an oath among themselves as their group. And this pact and oath was, again, based on the old tides of Jahiliyyah. They made a pact with themselves to not flee from one another in their plot to kill the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They said that, well, we'll kill the Prophet, we'll kill Ali ibn Abi Talib. Again, these are individuals who had not met the Prophet or Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam. But Jibreel came to the Prophet and told him about this plot of these individuals. So at that point, the Prophet of Allah, he sent several of his companions forward, again, one after the other, with a group of individuals to call these individuals to righteousness, to justice, to turn away from such vain plots and animosity, but come to see what the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam he was teaching and how he was educating people about justice and about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So one group went and they came back because those individuals, they wanted to fight the individuals that the Prophet of Allah had sent. They said, if you don't leave us, we will fight you. So these individuals, they turned back, although the Prophet of Allah had told them to, first and foremost, to bring about peace, invite them to Islam, to submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But if they try to attack you, they fight you, then you stand your ground and you defend Islam, you defend the Prophet of Allah. So one companion left with a small group of individuals, came back and said, Ya Rasulullah, there are 12,000 individuals, and we will not stand. We had no chance. So the Prophet of Allah, he sent another companion, again with a small group of people, gave the same order to invite them, and if they do not come into the folds and they want to fight you, then you stand your ground and Allah will give you victory. Again, the second companion came back with the small band of people, and at that point the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he sent Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam, again with the same number, a small group of believers. They went forth and they Imam Ali alayhi again invited the people to Islam. Actually, when they saw Imam Ali alayhi they did not recognize that this was Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib, although they had made their pact among themselves that we will kill the Prophet, we will kill Ali ibn Abi Talib. So when they saw Imam Ali, they asked, "Who are you?" He says, "I am Ali ibn Abi Talib." They said, "You're the one who we want to fight." So Imam Ali told him to desist from this and listen to what the Prophet is bringing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the revelation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, about the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, about establishing justice among people, among the tribes. But they did not want to hear it, and they told Imam Ali to prepare for battle. And they waited, and they had the battle the next day. And this is why within the surah, that one of the verses, it talks about the subh, that that the raid was coming at the subh. فَالْمُغِيرَاتِ صُبْحًا. So in the dawn of the next day, the battle had begun. And when Imam Ali alayhi wasallam, as the Prophet had mentioned, that if you stand your ground, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be with you and you will be victorious. When that victory came at the hands of Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib, this verse was revealed, this chapter was revealed to Rasulullah, wal-'adiyat. So if one recites this verse as Imam Sadiq alayhi wasallam, he stated, and this is the fadilat of this verse, the Imam, he stated, "Man qara'a surat al-'adiyat وَأَدْمَنَا قِرَاءَتَهَا." Meaning whoever recites it and recites it continuously. Meaning that this individual, develops a liking for this verse, this chapter of Quran, recites it often, recites it in his or her prayer, recites it even outside the prayer, but recites this verse to remember. One of the things by reciting this verse, you will remember the commitment of Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So whoever does this, بَعَثَهُ اللَّهُ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ مَعَ أَمِيرِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ صلوات الله وسلامه عليه يوم القيامة خاصة وكان في هجره وَرُفَقَائِهِ إِنْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ تَعَالَى. So the Imam Sadiq, he says, whoever recites this and continues to recite this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will raise that person on the Day of Judgment to be with Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib khasatan. Meaning that he will be among those individuals who are particularly among the khawas, among those special companions of Amir al-Mu'mineen on the Day of Judgment. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will place that person within the ranks of Amir al-Mu'mineen, and as the Imam Sadiq says, wa rufaqa'ihi, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make that individual among the rufaqa of Amir al-Mu'mineen, among the friends of Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam. So if we want to acquire that relationship, that type of relationship with Amir al-Mu'mineen, to be among the Rafaqa of Amir al-Mu'mineen, then we should recite the surah Al-'Adiyat. And what does it mean to be the Rafiq of Amir al-Mu'mineen? What is this idea and concept of friendship, or this type of association of friendship? We find that Imam Ali alayhi wasallam himself, he speaks about this quality of rafaqa, of friendship, or what the rafiq is, and why we would call someone a friend or rafiq. Imam Ali alayhi wasallam, he says, إنما سمي الرفيق رفيقا لأنه يرفقك على سلاح دينك فمن أعانك على سلاح دينك فهو الرفيق الشفيق. So Imam Ali alayhi wasallam, he states that a person is called a rafiq. Someone is called a friend, rafiq. But if that individual aids you and befriends you in order to set your deen, your way of life, on the correct track. Meaning a true friend and a rafiq So when we make that pact of brotherhood as well, it's not simply to say, oh, well, this person is my brother, but yes, he's your brother, he's your akh, and your rafiq, he should be as well. He should be your friend. And that concept of rafaqa and friendship is solidified when that individual guides you and is concerned about the well-being of your deen, of your faith, of your way of life, of your connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Imam Ali says, so whosoever helps you in correcting your deen and your way of life, then this person is rafiqun shafiq. This person is a good friend, is a close friend. This person should be. So this is the idea and concept of rafaqa. And so by reciting Surah Al-Adiyat, as Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq alayhi hafidhahullah advised, that we will develop that rafaqa with Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi hafidhahullah. And what better friend to have on Yawm al-Qiyamah in the hereafter than Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi hafidhahullah, especially a friend who will guide us upon the path towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And especially in that moment of Yawm al-Qiyamah, in that whole process when our actions will be put before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will weigh our actions, our deeds. But if we have a friend like Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib, of course a master first and foremost, Mawla, a guide like Amir al-Mu'mineen, and then a Rafiq like Amir al-Mu'mineen, then we will have Nur upon Nur, inshaAllah. And I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He continues to guide us by the wisdom of His Quran and by the teachings of Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. Wa akhiru da'wana, alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. And we pray for the hastened reappearance of Imam Zaman. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us among His helpers and His companions, and to allow us to sacrifice our lives for Him. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also to grant our needs, to have mercy upon our deceased ones, to give cure to those who may be ill among our friends and family members. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. اللهم اغفر ذنوبنا واستر عيوبنا وقضي حوائجنا واشفي مرضانا وارحم أمواتنا وعجل فرج مولانا صاحب العصر والزمان وجعلنا من أعوانه وأنصاره والمستشهدين بين يديه وتحت لوائه بحق محمد وآله الطاهرين.